I'm on a bit of a mission for you right now, RC drivers. In my hands is the new Vanquish H10 Optic Brushless ready to run. Yes, brushless, and it arrived just last night. And as you can see, I'm at one of my favorite crawl spots right now, and tomorrow is the release. So I've got a lot of work ahead of me, and this thing is worth checking out. Let's take a closer look. So I actually found out about this release back at Beat the Creek. I was visiting the Vanquish booth and the guys gave me a couple of hints about it, and when it arrived, it didn't disappoint, guys. Love the Sparko livery. My brushed version had the Sparko livery, but with blue panels, and these new light gray panels are pretty awesome, and the new graphics are just killer. Love the use of the Sparko logo, just breaking apart on the side panels there. You got the big Vanquish logo up top, and a bunch of other sponsored decals right there on the hood. The mini grille up front, the fuel tank out back with the side plates, full cage on this interior with the driver figure already decaled up. It looks very cool, as it did before. One final cool feature about the body are the side plates here. These are actually the battery pods. There's one on each side. There's a pin to release it, and it does take a short style battery pack. I'll have measurements in the video description below, and you can technically put 2 battery packs in here. So one of the changes that you may have noticed already is the tires and the wheels. So this is now a 2.2 rig. Love the look of the wheels on this, the black spokes. Got a really heavy duty looking hub on the back. And then we got the Toyo Open Country tires. Again, 2.2 inner diameter, 4.90 on the outside. And it's their pink compound, so it's soft and sticky. Single stage foam insert on the inside. We'll go right into the suspension next. They have the S8E shocks. These have an aluminum threaded body with a collar on there so you could adjust preload. These are an emulsion shock. There's the bleeder screw up top, metal pivot balls, and a captured spring perch down below, so that's the right setup there. And for some reason, these feel absolutely butter out of the box. I don't hear any air on the inside of these, so they did an awesome job building this setup. Got the 4-link suspension in the front and rear, and you guys are probably gonna notice I'm switching back and forth between studio and here in the wild, just to give you guys a little switch up, get you some close-up details. But anyway, there's suspension geometry pretty much on point from the factory. Back to the chassis now, guys. So this is a pretty cool setup. With older trail buggies, there was a lot of work to disassemble the cage from the lower section of the chassis. This is pretty easy. There's 3 screws under the panel here, another 3 on the other side, 2 up front, and then the 4 upper shock screws. They all come out, same size screw, and then the whole body comes off nice and easily, which is much better than buggies in the past. So makes working on this a lot better. And the cage obviously is what makes up the frame on this. Pretty rigid, and then it's got this lower skid plate structure that it attaches to. And as you can see, that skid goes all the way up to the front because it protects the motor, which is hanging down low, which I'm going to talk about in just a little bit. But onto the drivetrain. So the big deal with this one is the H10 axles, and it's got the ram style steering in the front, much like a trail buggy, and this lower skid here to help glide it over rocks. This is obviously a straight axle setup. It's got their steel universals out at the steering knuckles, which gives us plenty of steering throw. And then ball bearings on the inside of the axles, metal gears, and a locker. No open diffs, you don't need that on a trail buggy. Look at those steering knuckles, those are nice and heavy duty. 12mm hexes on the outside, and then I'll show you the straight axle setup. Love that it has the red anodized diff plug in there. As you can see, plenty of bracing on that as well to keep it solid. Slider style drive shafts up to the transmission. So this is a single stage transmission. It's got sintered metal gears on the inside, the guide plates for the bearings, all the good stuff that we've seen before. The spur gear is locked out, no slipper clutch in this. But the big deal is what's mounted to it. And they now have a Hobbywing Fusion SC 1800 kV motor, which has the speed controller built into it. And that's what a lot of people were looking for out of this buggy. They wanted brushless right from the factory, and they gave us something really good. The Hobbywing system that we know works. So this thing is gonna crawl super smooth. Those systems have really good braking. And then they have their VR1 radio system, which is probably one of the best ready to run radios you're gonna find out there. Lots of tuning features through the digital screen. And up front they have the VS1 servo, metal geared servo with a cast metal servo arm on it. If you're familiar with this buggy, just a few changes, but if you're new to this buggy, it's a pretty solid setup, and it's a favorite out there on the trails, and we gotta go hit these rocks and see how it performs with this new setup. All right, RC drivers, here we go. First pull of the throttle. Let me back it off just a little bit more, and look at that low speed crawl from that brushless system. That's pretty awesome. Those tires are doing well. Good grip there of that small ledge. I mean, this thing is super quiet now. Wow. No driveline noise either. I mean, it's no wonder this buggy is so popular. It is just working. How was that? The suspension flex, smooth throttle, and these new tires seem to be gripping. Let's give it a real test. Up and over that like nothing. Through the valley. Oh, flexing, look at that. Let's back it out a little bit. Cut it over. I don't want to flip this thing just yet. Oh, we're teetering, we're teetering. Let me bring it back. Oh, I'm really teetering now. Power out of this one, what do you think? There we go. Looks like it's got plenty of power too. I'm on a 3S. HV pack actually. Gen's Ace. I'll have a link for that in the video description below. Kind of keeping quiet on this one, guys. Just really enjoying the smooth, quiet control of this rig. Okay, everybody was waiting for brushless. Everybody said it should be brushless from the factory. They did it. And it's definitely not disappointing. Oh, my first roll. The problem is sometimes I'm looking at the camera and not at the buggy or the line ahead of me, and it gets me in trouble. Just trying to get you guys that close-up action. There we go. Nice brake, a lot of brake. Keeping it smooth. Looking good so far. So with the new wheel setup, the tires are obviously a little taller and it makes the rig a little wider too, so it should be a bit more stable. Once these tire inserts break in some more, it'll help out. Made through that off-camera hill pretty easily. And this rock up ahead here is a pretty difficult rock for most RCs that I bring here. Let's see how we do. That's where it gets hung up, so I gotta give it a little blip. Wow, that worked well. Nice. Bring it back down this rock here. Notice that the throttle is pretty sensitive with this system. Actually reversed a couple times by accident. And this is another favorite spot you'll see in a bunch of videos, and usually only rigs with weight can make it up this spot right here. This is zero brass on this one. Little throttle bump. Nope. So obviously a stock rig's gonna have its limitations. But it made it up that. Wow, that was good. And this is near vertical. No. Oh no. Uh-oh. We got a brake, guys. There's the axle shaft. What happened? Oh, we lost a link. Ouch. Well, I guess that wraps it up, guys. That's an easy fix. And that was a hard hit. I mean, I throttled and jumped that thing backwards, but I got a bunch of these at home, so I gotta go swap it out. The mission continues, RC drivers. I'm back on the trail after fixing the rig last night at the workshop, and this is the morning of the release, and I'm gonna get a little bit more wheel time in. So this time I'm at the local park, just hitting the walking trails, and actually last night I made a few adjustments to the radio system. Didn't have full steering, so I adjusted the dual rate and the steering endpoints, and actually gave the truck a little bit of negative throttle and brake expo. It's an awesome day out. Just gonna enjoy this run over some tree roots, rocks, a little bit of dirt. This spot right here, definitely gonna test the brakes on this and the stability of the rig. This is a pretty decent drop here. Just gotta take it nice and slow. It just cruised on its own. Whoa, pretty impressed with that one, guys. A lot of rigs do a front flip right there, and it gets gnarly because they just roll down the hill after that. It's been a while since I've been down here. This spot right here with this rock is one of my favorite obstacles. So go around the tree, check out the steering angle. Yeah, it steers a lot better now with those adjustments I made to the radio system. Little side hill action next. And this is rough. Oh, little climb action next. Pretty tricky here with all the moss on the rock. Oh, look at that, made it up. That was sweet. Let's see how far we can push this thing. Whoa, wow. I don't think I've ever done that with a rig here before. And if you watch the channel, you've seen a truck go down into that water. Now that I've got some more runtime in on the truck, I'm starting to hear a little clicking from that transmission. Typically, I'm not a fan of tree roots, but there's so many right here. It's awesome to watch the suspension flex through it. Nice slow crawl out of that brushless system. Got to keep mentioning that because you guys wanted the brushless setup in here. Now down through these rocks. This will get the suspension all twisted up. If I mess up, it's going to go down into the water. Oh, look at the front end all bound up there. Released. Save that one. Time to wrap this one up, RC drivers. The Vanquish Optic ready to run with the brushless system has been a blast here on the trails, and it was a lot of fun to drive on the rocks as well. That brushless system does give it that nice, slow, smooth, controlled crawl, and it does have a lot of power on the top end. So if you gotta have a brushless system in your rig from the factory, this one definitely isn't going to disappoint. Does need a little tweak here and there with the radio system to get it dialed in some more, and it could use some weights as well. Any rig could really benefit from some weight, but another Vanquish rig worth checking out if you're looking for something to get into or add another rig to your stable. I'll have links in the video description below for it, or hit up your local hobby shop.